Greetings, residents. Supervisor Dick Thurston here with another one of our community outreach, programs. Today I'm with Randy Ross, a good friend of the town, and has spearheaded over the last few years the Friends of Spookhill committee. Actually, Randy was one of the first people that greeted me when I came into the position of supervisor for the town in 2018. Shared with me some of his dreams and visions, and slowly but surely, we're getting there, Randy. I know, it's frustrating to some, but we have gotten a lot of new equipment in. We're going to be talking, in fact, this Saturday during the workshop a little bit more about Spookhill and the longer-term vision which we have to build out the infield and some more of the exercise and rest relaxation centers. So maybe you just share with the residents, kind of what your vision was when we went way back to when I first met you, and where you see it going right now. I'll ask you a couple more questions during the course of this.
Well, this park, as you know, has been here a long time. My kids, who are now over 40, used to play soccer here. So there's been a great interest in this park for a long time. Through the different administrations, this park was neglected. But new families moved in,
right?
Younger families moved in, and people that I know, including Jim Sweeney and his wife Noreen, we all got together and said we need to do something.
Right.
So we decided to try to reinvent this park a little bit, and I went out and got a grant from the county for $20,000 to make it a more inclusive park. We wanted to have children here of all abilities, but we also decided that we wanted seniors and we wanted vets to also have something to do with this park. So as we're rebuilding it, different phases are going to be shown to the public. We're up to phase 2. Phase 1 is for the tots, which is right behind us over here, for ages about 6 to 8, something like that, maybe a little younger. But as we move kind of along here, in that area, there's going to be for older kids around 10 years old. And then there's also, we're very happy to have an outdoor exercise area over there for seniors or for just folks who want to come and get some work done physically. Also, we're thinking of part of the plan is to continue this walkway all the way around, about 1/4 mile, so people can run or jog or walk or push their baby carriages. So it's going to be a one-stop shopping for the community around here for exercise and for just beautiful green space.
Well, actually, when I first met Randy, he had obtained even more than $20,000 at one point in time, a fair amount of money, which then got neglected, I guess. Yes. And so then we applied for another, grant, which enabled us to get $100,000 to put into what you see here as part of that. The town board, has been really, supportive. That included, this equipment, that first grant that we got in the county, $100,000, it really enabled us to go and redo the little pavilion area, which has some bathroom, it has space for picnic table. The vision that Randy and I have is even maybe on Saturdays we have a little coffee shop, and we've designed it and built it up in order to do that. It's also, the grant helped to get us, monies to help redo the parking space. So why don't you mention a little bit about the plans and how you're involving some of our seniors on that?
Well, the community has been wonderful. We've had a lot of support from groups, especially the garden the Senior Garden
Club. Yeah.
Thank you. And Hannaford's has been great. They have given us some money. Other things have come together so that the parking area, at this point, we're going to see how popular it is. We may have to expand parking a little bit.
Definitely.
We don't know about that. But other things, we have a new yoga studio in town. They would like to use this on a Saturday morning. A lot of people have shown a great interest in what this park
As to the parking, though, we have for the first time designated some handicap parking.
Yes.
We have it so it's one way in and out. Well, maybe talk about the meridian, the middle strip there.
Sure.
Yeah, what you're doing with the garden club.
Right. When the engineers designed this, they wanted to make sure it was safe. So it's one way coming in and one way coming out. So they designed an island to be put in the middle of the parking lot. At this point, there's nothing inside the island, but the garden club is very interested in doing something as far as floral arrangements, putting big planters there that can be removed over the winter. Steve and his crew are going to deliver some river rocks to be put in there, the same color as we have over there. So it's coming together. The whole idea is for people to come here and see how beautiful the park is and then spend some time. We've had some Eagle Scouts build 2 big picnic tables for us that are wheelchair accessible.
Yeah.
We're going to put those out here in the shady areas. So like I said, it's going to be one-stop shopping for this community that has grown. And has gotten younger.
Yeah, right, exactly. Well, it's reinvigorated, and that's what's exciting, and that's kind of the vision as we saw it evolving, and certainly throughout our other parks too, we're having that change. Randy mentioned about beautification, so in relationship to that, we've had to cut down a number of trees that were diseased, and that finally happened, and thanks to some other support in the community. Why don't you mention about the trees, because we got some support from outside.
Athena, who owns or works for Alpine Landscaping, she came in and for free she took down 3 big trees that were diseased, that we're going to use that area as a memorial to a young man who died a few years ago, Ryan Weatherwax. His family very graciously said they wanted to come in and put some benches there, put some flowers there, perhaps plant another tree. We're going to use the space that we have to honor our veterans, to honor people who have helped this community.
No, that's right. And speaking of that, we had, a few weeks ago, Randy came up with the idea, which I and the board strongly supported, as we're looking at how to further recognize our hometown heroes from the perspective of those that have really contributed to the community. So at that board meeting, we recognized 2. One was Habitat for Humanity, and the other was Noreen Sweeney's husband, Jim Sweeney, who sacrificed his life really defending and working for our country. He was down at the 9/11 site and contracted illness from that, and state police trooper, and a very good friend. The Sweeney family, as Randy mentioned, was one of the earliest supporters when they were raising their 4 children here in this park. And so we dedicated to them a certificate, got a little a plastic memorial, that Randy had ordered. And also we got each one of them a tree. Habitat has planted the tree at one of their houses that they've built. But we asked Noreen Sweeney where she would like it, and we'll see it in a few minutes, but it's here at the back end of our park. And what the Sweeneys would like to do, working with the town, and we're fully supportive of this, is to use that area where the tree is planted as like a little resting place. We're thinking of the town. Randy is driving this as having some memorial pavers there for fallen troopers, also fallen county, sheriffs and some others. We have our military site over at Slaughterhouse.
Yes.
But why don't you share a little bit of the vision for what that would look like, and then we'll visit that in a few minutes.
Sure. Kevin Hawthorne with the Wappingers Veterans Advisory has done a wonderful job recognizing the veterans in this town. We fully support that. But we thought, the supervisor and I thought that maybe we should recognize people who are not veterans, who are doing some wonderful work for the town. So like he said, we've chosen the first two. We hope to continue with that program. Like I said, the Ryan Weatherwax Memorial will be
right
here.
Over here.
Right over there. We'll show you that later on. But we do want to make this town recognize the heroes and the people who sometimes are not recognized, who do their work, who volunteer. Volunteers are such a big part of this town. Supervisor and the town board have really used the volunteers to help beautify this town, to help make this town what it is. And we wanted this park to be part of that.
Exactly.
Part of that program.
Yeah.
So there are going to be different places.
Well, one of the other things, we had a meeting, and we have a number of people that are very supportive of this, including our videographer, Mike Miner, who does a tremendous job in supporting all of our activities and reducing it into history. But one of them, was and back in the back area, we're thinking, Randy brought in a representative, Inga, from Anderson Autism Center, and we're talking about with her, waiting for her proposal of how to create, maybe it's a butterfly pollination area, bee pollination area, but also bring in some good, touchy-feely, nice-sounding, moving things in the area. We have trees back there. We have a nice spot for it near where the Sweeney location is. So, those are the types of initiatives. We have more to come. Certainly welcome our volunteers to come up with ideas and then help us get this in place. This is a community park, and community involvement is number one. Oh, I don't want to forget, Dr. Dwight Bonk, Superintendent of Wappinger School District, Central School District, he and his team are very much committed to working in partnership with us. We had him out here a few weeks ago. In fact, I just had lunch with him today, and he was asking, and we're talking about this initiative. So, maybe say a few words about that, Randy.
One of the things that we have in the future, which we just started, is called the Green Therapy Initiative. What we decided to do is work with the Wappinger School District, with Myers Corners, with Ketchum High School, with Evans, to get the kids here, to get them out of their classrooms and do some therapy, in quotation marks, as far as phys ed is concerned, as far as kids who have different needs, special needs, to come to this park, to use the facilities as a therapy. A green therapy is what we wanted. One of the things we're working with the Anderson School, we've consulted with a number of their experts. Some of these kids need quiet time, need quiet spaces. So we're working with the Anderson School to build this butterfly.
And that's why we want it in the back.
Want it in the back so you can...
More quiet.
Right, so when the walking path goes out that way, you can have a quiet area out there. Bumblebees, butterflies, wildflowers. Our master gardener here, I'm sure, will help out.
Yes.
Getting himself dirty, doing that. Sibelico and other places have said that they would like to contribute to this. Ulster Savings Bank said that they would like to help.
Very good.
Yes,
supportive of
they would
our
like
stuff.
to help build this wild.
And the Rotary, as well.
Yeah, Rotary. So we've had a lot of community interest.
Absolutely.
And we're taking great advantage of that. Believe me.
Yeah. And I think that as we look at going forward, many of you know that each year when I identify projects and areas, I take the letters from the name Wappinger. And when we look at what this park's about, there's resiliency, one of the R's, there's environment, there's people, and people also include as a key component working with our schools, our school district and programs. And so there's a lot more, to come, but this is, building up to be, really a premier destination point for those types of activities.
Yes.
And with the support of our community, with your support, including with your tax dollars, you're going to see this blossom, I think, in the next 2 years. It
Yes.
hopefully will come to total fruition during that period of time. So I want to thank you. We're going to visit the site where we have planted the tree for Noreen Sweeney, and so we'll be right back. We're back here right now, Randy and I, at the rear of Spookhill Park. Our land still goes back a little bit further, but this is the site that we're talking about with respect to the memorial for the Sweeney family. Beautiful flowering plum tree that we provided as one of our recognitions for the Sweeneys. And Noreen and the family's general idea is to build this out, have a couple benches around here, as Randy was saying earlier, some paving stones. But then if you look at this back area, this is where we thought that we can add some gardens, some pollinator gardens, butterfly gardens, and some other things that will take advantage of the beautiful area. Probably put some benches in, maybe a picnic table, so that our young folks and young adults with some special needs can have a place of solitude, come back and enjoy it. And same with the Sweeney family and others that we will recognize here going forward. Randy, your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
I know you have a lot of thoughts on it. So
I do. When we first presented the idea of this park to Dick and the board, we were very specific that we wanted it for people of all abilities, especially children. Yeah. And there are a lot of children who are on the spectrum who need the quiet time, need the quiet space, but also educational.
Right.
If something that they could help out.
Right.
If the Anderson School comes in and would like to work with us on the wildflowers and the pollination center, we really do love that contribution. We were very specific that we wanted this park to be for every ability.
Right.
And it's shaping up like that. This area is beautiful back here.
Yeah, now that the trees are cut down, there were a lot of dying trees back here, and we've taken care of that. But I have, over the years with pro bono work, that's free legal advice, particularly in the city, but I've worked with a group that addresses the special needs of folks on the spectrum, but from a baking point of view. So when Inga came in, and I said, oh, this is perfect, because then we can also transfer a lot of those things to gardening.
Yes.
Certainly for me as a gardener over the decades, I'm happy to impart that on them, but also we can work with them on special tools, special ideas of how to further enhance their quality of life with respect to something that's so wonderful as here.
And it works both ways, because when Inga came to us, she wanted something for her clients, her students, to do as part of their therapy, and this is the green therapy. This is what we envisioned a few years ago, which is now coming into fruition with beautiful trees and the support of people like Noreen Sweeney and Inga and the board and Dick. It all seems to be coming together now. Yeah. And it feels really good. Yeah. It really does.
So we encourage you to come out, both to enjoy what we've started here, but also to help us. Volunteers are very much appreciated. So please call on us, call on Randy, call on myself, any of our board members, and we'll look forward to working with you. So please, until soon, stay safe and remain well. Thank you very much.